Hey guys, I'm Jake. Welcome to NatureBeings. Let's strike a balance because when there is imbalance, we don't like it. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you all about Jal Neti or nasal irrigation. I will also tell you what is more beneficial for treatment of sinus problem, Jal Neti or steam inhalation based on a scientific evidence. Now this video is basically a video on demand and I'll tell you why. A while ago, I made a video on home treatment for sinus problem. I had sinus for almost 15 years and I have treated myself by using herbal remedies. In fact, I made a very elaborate video about it. You can check it here on the iCard. I'll provide the link in the description also. So after that video, Jal Neti was in fact one of the tool that I used, and a lot of my viewers asked me questions about Jal Neti. Can they use tap water or they need to use only filtered water? Can they use table salt for the saline solution or the saline rinse, and what kind of Jal Neti pot to use and how to do it, the procedure for Jal Neti. So in this video, I'm going to answer all those questions. At the end of the video, I will also show you a demonstration how I practice Jal Neti every day since last 3 years. So guys, before we start, if you're new to my channel, I would request you to subscribe to my channel and help me grow my network because I love sharing information about health and wellness based on natural remedies. So moving ahead with the video, first thing first that I want to tell you is that Jal Neti has really helped me get rid of sinus problem in my life. I'm a testimonial. I will also read a small conclusion from a study, but let me tell you that Jal Neti is not something new, or nasal irrigation what we call. This is a traditional Ayurvedic technique which has been used since thousands of years just to maintain the nasal hygiene. First thing first, which you need to keep in mind when it comes to your sinus problem is to keep your sinus cavities clean, right? So that there is no pressure or inflammation and swelling. That's why Jal Neti is such an effective technique, because the warm water, when you use Jal Neti, it goes inside those dead end of the sinus cavities and it removes the collected dirt, bacteria which are causing that inflammation, which are giving you that swelling because of which you can't breathe properly. So when that water and the saline solution goes inside, rinses out that mucus lining and flushes out everything, it cleans your sinus cavities and opens them up. Suddenly you start feeling that, wow, I can breathe properly. This is how I feel every time when I do Jal Neti. And another problem in case of sinus problem is that this entire inside cavity becomes very dry. Because of that, we get that pain. So Jal Neti helps to moisturize the inside lining of our sinus cavities, and that's how it reduces the inflammation. Now to solidify my claim, I'm just gonna read conclusion from two studies so that you understand that even in today's time, in Western world also, people are accepting Jal Neti or nasal irrigation as an effective technique for sinus problem treatment. Alright, just listen to me carefully. This study, done by researchers from the United Kingdom, involved a randomized controlled trial of 871 sinusitis patients. It has been published in the Canadian Medical Association Journal. The study involved 871 patients from 72 primary care practices in England who were randomly assigned to one of four advised strategies: usual care, daily nasal and saline irrigation, that is Jal Neti, and daily steam inhalation as well. So what the researchers found, that the patients who were using saline nasal irrigation or Jal Neti, they experienced improvement in their sinusitis symptoms, more improvement in comparison to patients who were doing steam inhalation. And another beneficial effect of Jal Neti was that patients who used Jal Neti, reduce their usage of conventional medications like these antihistamine sprays or corticosteroids or anti-allergy medications. All these improvements happened in a span of 3 to 6 months by regularly doing Jal Neti. In fact, the researchers also found that steam inhalation was ineffective in treatment of sinusitis in comparison to Jal Neti. Now, another important study. There was a study in which patients who practiced daily nasal irrigation had improvement in symptoms of chronic sinusitis up to 70% after 2 weeks of treatment. In these patients, the use of medication had decreased considerably. Evidence supports that there was a significant improvement in nasal symptoms and health status of patients with sinonasal disease who had undergone Jal Neti treatment twice daily for 6 weeks. So these are scientific evidence to support that yes, Jal Neti is one of the most effective tool to treat your sinusitis problem. And guys, in addition to all those scientific evidence, I am a testimonial in front of all of you. I had sinus problem for almost 15 years. Today, I have to regularly do Jal Neti even now after 3 years because sinus allergy is not something which goes away very easily. So you have to be very disciplined. Only then you can control it properly. So make sure that you watch that video also. And now let's talk about the procedure itself, and all the questions which I raised earlier about Jal Neti. Starting with the first one. The basic question is that can we use tap water? Well, I would say that if your tap water is filtered, if you have a water filtration system at home, then you can use tap water. Don't use unfiltered tap water. Personally, I don't use it. Initially, I started using it, but then I switched to either filtered water, like this jug has a water filter. You put your tap water and you get the filtered water. Or I use this distilled water. This I get for $1 from Costco or Walmart. Distilled water is by far the best choice. If you can get distilled water, always use that. Otherwise, water through water filtration system is also equally good. Now, second common question that I always get about Jal Neti is that can't we just use table salt from the kitchen at home? Why do we need these saline rinse? Now, from my personal experience, I can tell you that these table salt, they have iodine, and when I tried it, it caused a lot of burning sensation in my nose, and I never used it again. So I personally feel more comfortable using these saline rinse. I'll provide the link for them in the description. They are very reasonable. It won't pinch your pocket at all, and it won't pinch your nose also. They are very smooth. They have a good pH balance, and it will not cause any irritation in your nose. It's just the perfect well dosed sachet of saline rinse. Okay, next is the Neti pot itself. When I started, I used the plastic pot, but I personally avoid using plastic anymore. I just use this stainless steel pot. Now, I like this one in particular, and I'll tell you why. There's one like this and then this. Now, this one does not have any that nozzle in front. So when I use it like this, water comes out from this side of the nostril as well. But this one has this elevated little thing here, and it completely blocks one side of the nostril and water doesn't come out from here. So it only comes out from here. So I personally like this pot. I'll provide the link for this in the description as well. It just makes the process so much smoother and easy. Alright guys, so these were some basic points that you need to keep in mind. Now, of course, water which we use is always lukewarm water. Don't use the cold or extra hot water. Now, important point which I need to tell you is how to do it correctly. Because a lot of people complain that when they did Jal Neti, water went into their ears, or they got headache after it. And some people complain that water just doesn't come out from the other side of the nostril. So to answer all those questions, it's better that I show you the demonstration. So once and for all, your doubts are cleared and you start doing it correctly. So let's go and start the demo. Alright guys, so now I'm going to show you the technique of how to do Jal Neti properly. I'm doing it in the bathroom. So one thing you need to keep in mind is that when you have sinusitis problem, then your obviously nasal passages are blocked. And sometimes what happens when we try doing this, water doesn't come out from the other side. Please remember one thing, don't try to pull the water inside forcibly so that it starts coming out. It will go into your ears and it might cause other problems. So always remember, don't pull the water forcibly. Best thing is that before you start Jal Neti, just blow your nose so that whatever is stuck inside comes out and it opens up your passage little bit. And you will have to be little patient with it. Okay, this is not something that you are used to doing it every day, right? Nobody puts water into their nose every day. This is something new. This is an intervention that we are doing. So it takes time to get used to it. Initially when I started, water didn't come out from my other nostril, but I kept doing it and blowing my nose, kept doing it slowly and slowly. With practice it started coming out. So remember, if it doesn't come out, don't lose hope, just take time with it. Alright, now moving further, what I'm going to do is just put it in my left nostril and then the water will start coming out from the right. Always keep your mouth open because while you're doing Jal Neti, the only way that you can breathe is through your mouth. So let your mouth be open. The position is very simple. I'm just going to put one hand here, bend down a little bit on my back and then start putting the water inside like this. After finishing with one nostril, just blow out your nose, the water and everything, and then start from the other side. So guys, this is how I do Jal Neti every day, and let me tell you, with practice you will be able to do it properly. Don't be impatient with it. And another thing is that once you're done with it, gently blow your nose completely so there is no water stuck inside. And you can also just bend down like this for some time, so whatever water is remaining inside, it will also come out. Even after like 1 hour or so, if you bend down and little water comes out, it's okay. Just clean it off and you shall be okay with it. So this is what Jal Neti is all about. And let me tell you, initially when I started, I used to do it twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening. And after 6 or 7 months, then I started doing once a day. So you can also do the same. Now guys, let me tell you from my personal experience, when you use all these techniques, you can effectively treat sinus problems. And please try this technique which I've taught you. Let me know in this comment section how was your experience. See you guys next time. Till then, strike a balance.